Anons! Welcome to the quiz show that'll put your very perception of reality into question. Our soon-to-be Robo-Mare overlords are back again to issue you a new artistic challenge, and they're stronger than ever before. Can you beat the bots? And find the fake?
That's right, Anons. We're back for another game of Find the Fake. The game that blurs the borders of reality and calls on you to redefine them. This game was first featured as a segment in the Pony Preservation Project's MLPcon presentation last year, wherein the audience actually did a pretty good job of finding the fakes, failing on only 2 occasions. Since then, there's been some 7 months worth of quality improvements, the release of several new image generators, and modifications to the format of the game, all of which are sure to make it significantly more difficult compared to last time. Here's how it's going to work. We have 18 rounds, where we'll show you a series of images, some real and some fake, covering a wide range of categories and themes. For each round, you'll be tasked on voting on which images you think are fake by way of SciTube polls. Some of these rounds will be simple image pairings where you'll know for sure that one is fake, and there will be 30 seconds for these rounds. It's just a simple A or B choice. Additionally, as an evolution on the format, we also have some rounds that feature 2x2 grids, 4 images in total. In these rounds, you won't know how many fakes there are, only that some are fake. For these rounds, you'll have 60 seconds, twice the pictures, twice the time. We're not going to pull any unfair tricks on you. None of the AI-generated pictures have been edited to remove defects, and I guarantee you that every round will always feature at least one real and at least one fake image. I'm not going to pull a, haha, they were all fake, or anything like that on you. Just one more thing to cover, a quirk of the rounds featuring 2x2 grids. In these rounds, there may be more than one fake, necessitating you to select multiple options. For these rounds, we have a special poll setup, and that setup looks like this. Yeah, hopefully it's right this time. And if you don't see it, again, you need to come out of cinema mode. It doesn't work in cinema mode. It should work and look exactly the same as a regular poll, except it allows you to make more than one selection. You just click on all the ones you think are fake, and click again to deselect if you change your mind. If in doubt, the darker grey ones are the ones you've currently got selected. Give it a try now with the example round. It should be simple enough, but I just want to show you an example of what it looks like beforehand to minimise any confusion, since normally you can't actually make multiple selections in SciTube polls. I'll also remind you about this before we do the first round of this type. And that's it for the rules. Best of luck, Anons. Right, can I get a hey yay or a hey nay if it doesn't work? It looks like it works, we've got the right poll in there. And it appears that the majority of you have voted for C and B as fakes, but a lot of you are very suspicious of Rose Luck. Very strange. Very, very strange. We get a hey yay and a hey nay. Excellent. Okay. I'm happy that you're happy that we're happy to get started. Alrighty then. If we're ready, here we go. Let's play Find the Fake. The first few rounds will cover the broad category of digital art. The type of thing that you'd typically find on your pony boo of choice, and probably also the kind of style you'd immediately think of when I mention the concept of AI art to you. We start with a brilliant flash of flame, as Rainbow Dash once again shatters the top speed record, riding her wings of fire. But some flames ain't so hot. Can you find the fake? And that's your time up. Right, I'll just need a moment to let the poll results come through, which hopefully they will in a moment. Excellent. Right. As an additional improvement, we actually have a highly advanced method of showing you the results. There you are. So 79.5% think it's A and 20.5% think it's B. So overall, you're calling A as the fake. Alright, let's see if you're right. And correct. A is the fake. So, what could have given this away? Well, actually first, the things that I like about this. The fire. It looks very nice. And we've also got the little speed lines and the clouds coming down. So it looks like the AI actually understands the concept of framing in a general sense. DALL-E 3 in this case. Things that are actually a bit wrong, well, the wings, they're not quite symmetrical. They don't follow the exact same curve. The eyes, they're not quite circular. Mane here is a little bit oddly straight. And the legs here, well, I'd expect more of a pose like this for high-speed flying. So well done. You've successfully noticed the first fake. Though I will point out that just because you are a real artist doesn't mean you know which fucking way round Rainbow Dash's cutie mark goes. Over a decade at this point, and people are still getting this wrong. In wankers. Anyway. Onward now to round 2, and we'll shift from the bombastic flames to a more calm, refined, and overall much more relaxed scene. Well, maybe a bit too relaxed, actually. Find the fake. Don't be too surprised that Tavy let me take these pictures of her. She simply recognises fellow British class when she sees it. And that's your time up. I never know what to say in these little bits where I'm just waiting for the numbers to pop up, other than vote faster. Okay, I have the results in, and it appears that you're actually an awful lot more confident this time around in your choice. Very comprehensively, you think B is the fake. Let's take a look. And correct. Seems that 3 of you clearly don't understand how to spot fake pictures. Though, even so, this one, I can't point to any one thing in particular that makes it go, yeah, fake. It's really more just a general lack of smoothness, for lack of a better word, I'd say. This one just looks a lot more smooth, sharp, whatever you want to call it. But something that I'll actually note, I like the way that it's been able to do the cushion here. It understands she's on a cushion and that it should be indented when she's lying down on it. The hoof is inconsistent? Yeah, there's also that. As if you couldn't see, well, the rest of... I can't describe it, it just looks like AI heebie-jeebies to me. Anyway, we've got plenty more to go through, and these have been fairly easy so far, I will admit. And that's mostly to get you into the flow of the game, and also to lull you into a false sense of security. We're going to up the ante now with our first 2x2 grid round. Recall the quirk of these polls from earlier, particularly that you won't be able to see it if you're viewing in cinema mode, so come out of that now if you're in it. You'll also have double the time for this, and remember that you may or may not need to make multiple selections. And just to be clear, they won't all be 2x2 grids from here on. I'm just reminding you in advance, this one time, about the different poll setup, since it's the first time you'll be playing with it for real. Now, I woke up this morning to find my oat bag suspiciously lighter than it should have been. I'm checking my security feeds, but it looks like they've been hacked. I'm getting multiple feeds of the suspect, and I need your help, Anons. Which picture, or pictures, should I trust? Remember, there might be more than one fake. And you got about 20 seconds left. And that's your time up. I'm hoping that there's actually a bit more disagreement this time around. That is, when the results show up. Okay, and it looks like the results are in. Well, let's have a look at what you think. There are the results. So, pretty firmly in favour of B and D being fake. Some of you think C is fake as well, though I'd say probably not enough of a majority to lock it in as one of your main selections. And very few of you, only 12 in fact, well, think that it's A. So few in fact that, well, it can't even show the percentage. Okay, so in that case then, I'm locking in B and D as your main audience votes. Let's see if you're right. And you're almost right. That's something that I was actually kind of hoping for. A is actually fake. You correctly identified B and D, and a fair number of you were actually fooled by C. So let's take a look. What's the main thing about Lyra here that's off? Well, mainly this leg's out a fair bit, but honestly there's not that much more left to tell. The rough art style of this actually allows for a lot more of the weirdness to go unnoticed. This is a bit of an odd pose here, mainly since both her right hoofs, they both seem to be off the floor, which, I don't know, it doesn't seem too stable. This one, well, what else? Only thing I can notice here is that you can see a weird bit of her cheek behind her, behind her snoot. And there's a tiny little bit of weirdness up in her horn there. She's got the startings of one extra spiral. Hopefully that comes across on stream. One thing that I want to note is actually it did a very good job of all of the Lyras. Well, specifically her cutie mark. So something that would have normally clued you in, well, that was unavailable this time. So that's your first slight mistake. But you got the other two, so broadly okay. So it turns out that there was actually only one real culprit. And frankly, I'm quite amazed that all those oats fit into just this one horse. But it's not just my oats, Anons. Look around your desk and tell me, where's your oat bag right now? That's right, little shit. And as consolation for your recent loss, I'll offer you this. Belly. So good that you want to reach out and touch it. But be careful, some bellies are fluffy, and others are binary. Which belly, or bellies, are you gonna rub it on? Presenting an exposed belly is a sign of great trust. However, you're responding with suspicion and scrutiny. Rather ironic, isn't it? And time's up. I'm seeing quite a lot of very good disagreement in the chat, so I'm hoping for some interesting results here. Let's see what we get. quite a lot of disagreement, actually. Wonderful. Right, let's see what you think. This is how you voted. So we've got clear choices for, what's that, D and C there, and maybe a little bit of suspicion on A. Most of you think B is legit. I think there's enough of a distribution there to call A, B, and C as your... Sorry, A, C, and D as your fakes there. And you're saying that B is the only real one. Alright then, let's see if you're right. And correct. So, B is the only real one. So what I really want to point out with this one is the broad range of styles that the AIs can do, and still look, at least, sort of believable. So we've got IDW comic style up here, show accurate style here, and, I don't know, general digital art style here. I'm not an artist, I don't know the right words for this. I was kind of hoping that some of you would cast suspicion on Spitfire here for her sort of rather extra long foreleg here, but no such luck. What else? So we've got a lot of mismatch of cushions at the back here, and if you looked very closely at Rainbow's tail, it's covered by this down here, but she's actually got too many colours in her tail. Twilight here, well, she's got double mane. You don't actually normally see that. Normally you see mane only on one side. Eyelashes as well, she's got 4 eyelashes here, 2, maybe 3 here under her mane, 4 here, and 3 here. As a little bit of pony trivia, Anons, can you tell me, what is the correct number of eyelashes on a show-accurate mare? And while you deliberate over that, this Trixie, well, I think it's mostly the perspective of her hooves. I mean, we'd expect to see, I think, something more of Twilight's tucked hooves here. The stars on the notebooks here, they're a bit off. Her horn looks a bit wonky, this little bit of mane out here is... it's not great. That was supposed to be the obvious one to get you going, yes, that's the fake, and then go, oh, what about the rest of these? And it seems for at least a few of you it worked. Alright, let's carry on then. That's it for the digital art category. We're now going to be sliding back into the comfy, traditional art category, featuring drawings with pencils, paints, and of course, the classic, tasty crayon. We start, on round 5, with paints. Perhaps the most traditional medium of them all, the one that our ancient ancestors first used to document their, relationships with their horses. And who better to represent tradition than our dear Princess of the Night? Will you be left in the dark? Or will you find the fake? You better get this one right, Anons. I'd hate to think of the relapse that might happen if the real Luna was accused of being fake. He says right as you run out of time. Okay, let's wait for the results, hopefully just a few seconds. Seriously guys, you better get this right. Luna ain't gonna be happy, otherwise. Right, let's see what you voted for. Quite comprehensively, you voted as B for the fake, though I'd say a very non-trivial amount of you have voted for A. But, going with the majority, you're voting for B. So, let's see if you're right. And you're right. B is the fake. So this one may have actually been a little bit of a step down in difficulty from the last one, but really with this one I wanted to show just how good the AI, particularly Gemini and ImageFX, have become at emulating the textures of various art media, such as the likeness of paintbrush strokes on a physical canvas. I mean, just look at it. It's actually pretty fucking good, at least to my untrained artistic eye. So, what might be going wrong here? Well, Twilight's missing a horn, this moon is... well, it needs to be rotated a bit. We've got double horn on Luna up here, though plausible deniability says it might be her crown. I was kind of hoping that the rather ill-defined Twilight and Luna over here would also point it to, well, being fake, and would make it a little harder, throw a little wrench in there. But apparently not. You are not to be fooled. On to the next one then. From dainty brushes to the soothing scritches of the humble pencil. One of these mares is trying to solicit illegitimate scritches. Can you tell graphite from graphics? Time's up, and it looks like my poll monkey forgot to hide the results. Alright, well, we'll wait for that to come through. And here we go. Here's how you voted. You have, again, pretty firmly voted for A, but again, there's a surprising amount of disagreement here. Well, actually, no, it's not surprising. The pictures are actually pretty good. So, overall, you have voted for A as the fake. Let's see if you're right. You're right, and I don't know how to change slides properly. That'd be at least one fuck up from me, at least. Okay, so you are overall correct, and you now know what the next round is. Okay, so Dashi is the fake in this case, I'm afraid. Her eyelashes, they're not very well defined, she's got too many colours in her mane, and also, if you follow the line of where her mane is going, well, it doesn't make sense. She's spawned extra colours up here, but also it's too high. That's the main thing that would have given away for me, but again, the actual style of the pencil, like the actual texturing of the pencil, I really like it. If not for that little mane, if you could fix that mane, I think that would be actually a very convincing dash. Okay, well, I was going to try and surprise you with this, but never mind. As for round 7, it's still going to be, I think, the ultimate challenge of the traditional art space. Image generators are usually tuned to give the cleanest outputs possible, which can make them easier to spot as the near inevitable imperfections stand out. But what if imperfection is the whole point? Are the bots good enough at drawing to draw as badly as you? So we've trained AI to draw with crayons, it seems. But how would one train an AI to eat the crayons instead? Time's up. I saw someone say that they accidentally picked one. You can click on it again to deselect. Alright, your choices aren't locked in. Okay, just waiting for the results to come through. And here they are. Just inputting those into my highly advanced algorithm right here. Here's how you voted. So pretty firmly in favour of, what is that, A and D being fake. A little bit of suspicion on C, and most of you are happy with B. Okay, I don't think that's enough of a majority for me to call C as one of your options, So let's say that you think overall A and D are the fakes. I think that's reasonable, yeah? Well, maybe you'll regret that decision in a moment. Let's find out. And there you go. You picked A and D as the fakes overall, and you're right. Though, I'm surprised that C got a lot of suspicion. Was it really that bad? Anyway, overall, you got it right. So, what can we learn from this? Well, Luna, I don't know what's up with her. She's got a bit of the AI heebie-jeebies to me. Again, that sort of vague, nebulous thing that I can't quite describe. Maybe it's just generally a bit too much main. Over here, maybe this drawing was just too awful for you to consider it legit. I mean, what else can I say? Well, at least for those of you who actually picked it. Overall, you didn't select this one, so I can let you off that one. So, looks like the Bale Chads win again. For now. Right, that's it for the traditional art category. Time for another style shift. One that you lot all really ought to be very familiar with, so no excuses for screwing up here. Starting with some mares enjoying a dip into the cool, refreshing water. Have a look at these splishy-splashy horses enjoying a lovely bathing session. There's a lot of water around, so don't slip up. Do you think AI mares are water-cooled? It's one for you to think of as your time runs out. Okay. Let's see what you think. You're pretty sure about this one. But only pretty sure. Here's how you voted. Most of you think B is fake, but again, a non-trivial amount of you are casting your doubts on Twilight. Though I'd say not enough for you to lock it in as one of the audience's choices. So I'm going to take B as your vote. Let's see if you're right. I saw some of you saying it's going to be both. I'll remind you, there's always going to be at least one real and at least one fake. I'm not going to pull they're both fake on you, alright? Never. That was defined in the rules, if you were paying attention. Anyway, looks like you definitely were paying attention to Pinky here. So we've got a little bit of inconsistency in her mane up here. This blob of water's a little suspicious. If you think back to our previous slides with the bellies, Pinky has too many eyelashes on her eye here. She's only supposed to have 3. Okay. I think that one was fairly easy, relatively speaking. And again, that's to get you into the groove of this new category. And as we go on to round 9, I think it's actually going to be an awful lot harder. Some may say rock hard. For Maud. Find the fake. That's your time up, and I hope you didn't cave in under the pressure. Right, let's see what you think. Again, I did see a fair bit of discussion in the chat, so it's clearly not clear-cut. Or at least it will be, when I get the fucking results. Come on! Can't be that far behind. Oh, okay. Well, that's slightly disappointing. For me, not so much for you. You've very, very comprehensively voted as B being the fake. So there's nothing to say there, let's just reveal the answers. Yeah, I tried to hype that one up, but not so much. So Maud here has two right legs off the ground. I don't think that's going to be particularly stable. I was hoping that the little extra bit of what appears to be shadow, but is actually just some ground texture, would throw you off over here, but maybe the fact that Maud's actual shadow over here isn't quite circular, well, maybe that's also thrown you. Well, not thrown you off, actually. Made it so that you actually understand that that's clearly the fake. We've got the lines in her mane here. They're not actually evenly spaced. That's another little giveaway. Okay. So maybe you thought that one was easy as well. Okay. Let's try this. The final round of the show accurate category. We have the apple round. Or rather, as I like to call it, the fuck you round. Because, well, fuck you. Good luck. Who'd have thought the element of honesty could be this deceptive? I enjoyed that quite a lot, watching you all freak out in there. I'm pretty sure there's going to be no clear consensus here. Let's see what the polls say. Okay, here's how you voted. Very comprehensively, you don't like D. Though a fair bit of suspicion on A and C, though most of you are happy with B. Should I take that to mean, then, that I should include A and C in your official submission? Maybe. Let's see how the distribution changes if I eliminate B. How about this, then? A and D I'll take as your official answers, since that's your highest voted second option, and since it's over a quarter, I think that's significant enough. I think. Maybe. Anyway, let's reveal. Fuck you, Anons. Only A is the fake. Ah, that's so satisfying. Right, a lot of you said D looked terrible. Well, just because a human drew it doesn't necessarily mean it looks good. And it looks like you all fell for that red herring. Ah, lovely. So, what went wrong with A here then? Well, actually, very, very little. That's why I called it the fuck you round. So, I don't know how well it comes across on the stream, but the stems of AJ's apples there, they're not great, they're a bit blurry. But what really gives it away is if you look at her tail here, she's got an extra line in the little bobbed end of her tail there. But take a moment to look at the rest of the lines in her mane. They're all exactly correct. The exact shape of her mane, the exact shape of her tail, the exact shape of the little bobs here as well. When I saw this one, I just had to include it. There was no way this wasn't happening. Very, very good. Right, that's it for the show accurate category. Let's get rid of that pie chart. Right, time for an entirely different kind of art. Where steel and silicone meet minky and thread. We're particularly excited by this category, as we're actually going into a more IRL style of art right now. A medium of art that you may not have seen many AI pictures of, so perhaps the challenge of this one will... What? Oh, for God's sake. Hang on, someone's at my door. Sorry about this. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, but I gotta tell you, there's really something strange going on here. I've pulled up the feed from my video doorbell that just rang, but I've got a rather unexpected visitor. A certain someone wants to come inside, which ought to be great, but I think I've been hacked again. Like, my cameras. Like, look at this. I need your help, Anons. Who should be allowed to come inside? Alright, that's your time up. I really need your help here, Anons. I hope you let in the right one. Let's see what you think. Okay, here's how you voted. The vast majority of you think A is the fake, though again, a non-trivial amount of you voting for B. Alright, let's find out. I just saw in there, A is too detailed. As if that's a knock against the AI. Oh, wonderful. Right, so lots of lovely fluffy bits on Rainbow Dash here, though apparently that gives it away as fake. I suppose you are assuming that the live cameras that I have that have apparently been hacked by you lot again, well, they're not too great. Anyway, what else might have given this away as fake? Her snoot's a bit malformed. You see we've got some clear nostrils and happy faces here, not so much here. These eye shinies are a bit too close, though also we do have the correct number of eyelashes. Okay, you recognize that background? See you soon. Well, I like chicken and bacon on my pizza. Okay, well, I suppose since you've identified the right one, I should let her in. Right, let's get her on the intercom. Here we go. I'll bring that up. Okay, Rainbow Dash, if you want to come inside, you gotta say the line.
Oh, fine. I want to come inside, Anon.
Ah, there you go. And as I let her in, I can see her blushing deeply as her heavy, okay, moving on. We're gonna spice up the plush round now, with some spice. Literally. Oh, what a double spicy mare. Saffron, masala. But who's hot, and who's not? Here's what I know, if you want to succeed, you must find the fake, that's the key. Better curry up, Anons. You've only got 20 seconds left. And time. Let's see what you think. Redeem the AI. Oh yes, I knew there was going to be at least a few jokes of that. That's okay. So, here we go. Votes are coming in. And I think it's pretty clear-cut. Very few of you, basically none, think A is fake, and everyone thinks B, C, and D are fake, essentially. Alright then, let's see if you're right. And you're right, yes. So a lot of these, they just have some slight weirdness around the edges. This is a bit of a weird pose. I don't think you've ever really seen an actual plush like this. So it's maybe taken an actual pose and tried to plushify it. Results may or may not leave something to be desired. Her cutie mark's pretty good though, I quite like that. And it's again recreated the correct texture as well. Overall, I'm pretty happy with them, even if they do have that sort of AI heebie-jeebies again. So A's the only one that's real, as we can see, and she actually looks pretty good. I'm quite impressed with the quality. And I did actually contact the artist to inquire about purchasing her, but for some reason they insisted I pay in gift cards. Not sure what was up with that. Anyway, it's now time to provide you with some more snuggly pony plushies of a more familiar variety. And to test how familiar you are with real plush mares, look at these fuzzy mares. So snuggly and cute. But some of them are stuffed with silicone all throughout their bodies, not just at the rear. Which soft exteriors are hiding sensitive electronics? Say, here's one for you. Do you think AI plushies have multi-threading? I was expecting a lot more of backlash for that little pun there, but apparently you all liked it. Let's see if you like these plushies, though. What are you saying? What are you saying? Give me them numbers. Okay, here come your answers. There they are. So we've got a pretty firm majority in favour of D, a decent majority in favour of B, less of a majority in favour of A, and very few of you think C is fake. Should I take that to mean that A is one of your selected ones? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think we've passed like a 25% threshold that I'd consider a minimum, so I'm going to elect to take D and B as your audience votes. Okay, let's see if you're right. And you're right. B and D are the fakes. But since they're fakes, they're actually pretty good, I think. Especially this Twilight one. I love the little horsey coat that she's got. So what went wrong with this one, though? She's missing main stripes here. We've got a bit of a droop snoot happening here. The shadow doesn't quite match. You'd expect it to actually connect to her leg here. But otherwise, it looks really fucking good. What have we got here for Berry? Well, her cutie mark's actually sort of raised up. It's in 3D almost. You don't see many plushies like that, at least none that I'm familiar with. The eyelashes here, they're not very well defined. The main blobs are a bit weird. Something about the mouth also gets me thinking it's a bit weird. I was kind of hoping that the oversized eyes at Rainbow Dash here would have you suspicious, but apparently not. And then, to supply us with another real one, Perp. Thank you. We actually deliberately tried to make this look as AI generated as possible. We had her main blob standing up in little mare antennae here. We've got one of her legs sticking out at a weird angle. We've got a bunch of random shit in the background, a purple blob, whatever that's supposed to be, a little pumpkin, and a random plant. But apparently that's not good enough to fool you. Right, let's carry on. For the last round of the sort of plushy/IRL art category, I figure that your figuring skills should be pretty well figured out by now. So let's apply your figuring skills to these figures. Go figure. They're not all fake. I told you we're not doing that. Have you got these figures figured out yet? Or are you still figuring out the figures of these figures? And your time's up. Saw quite a lot of disagreement in the chat again. A lot of suspicion on all the fillies. So I'm kind of hoping for some nice distributions here. Let's see what we got. Okay, here come your answers. There they are. So, very firmly in favour of D being a fake, but I think there's a lot of suspicion on C here, and a little bit on B. But I think that's not enough to lock that in as one of yours, so let's say you've selected by majority D and C as your fakes. Let's see if you're right. And there's only one fake. Only D is fake. So it looks like you've fallen for what we hoped you would. That is, the weird chest floof on this figure, and also the weird detail, the highly detailed, actually, little spacesuit that she's got. Also the fact that she's got wings. So yeah, you got tricked. Well, most of you got tricked. I'm sure there's a few of you smugly thinking, oh, I know that Anon Philly's actually going to be a Pegasus in that one, so it's actually perfectly fine. But nope, nope. Overall, you failed that one. Right. Final category, where things get real. As in, real horses. Starting at the ground level with the Clippity Cloppiters. Freshly shorn and cleaned.
Hoosies!
It appears that I fucked up. Should I even bother? Oh, God. Well, even so, let's do it properly. We'll do it properly. No. Maybe some of you somehow didn't see that. Okay, well, here are your votes. Despite my fuck-up, some of you are still suspicious of B. Somehow. Alright. Let's see if you are right. Though, come on, do I really need to bother with this? Stop giggling? No, fuck you. I hyped that up way too much. Yeah, I fucked up on that. Sorry. But even so, it's a pretty nice hoof, I think. So we've got a bit of an well, an outy bit here. I don't even know what you would call that. I don't think that's right. I mean, compare it to the real horse hoof. I don't think a horse's hoof does that. There's also the fact that the dirt maybe looks a bit too perfect. Maybe. The depth blur? I don't know enough about photography to prove or disprove that one, so I'll take your word for it. Okay, well, you've fetlocked in your answers for that. No thanks to me. Anyway, on to the next one. Are you in love with the shape of mare? But we've got some silhouettes to share. There must be something in the air, 'cause some of them ain't really there. Can you see the snow pity of the real mares shine through the shadows? If you get this one wrong, Anons, I'll give you shade for it. And your time's up. Again, a lot of disagreement seemingly in the chat then, so again, I'm hoping for some good results here. Let's see what we get. Guys, and it just flew over my ass. Yep, she's a special one, that's for sure. Right, here's what we got. There you are. So a lot of you think B is fake. I mean, I don't know, those clouds, they look pretty well formed, so I think it's fine. Anyway, C and D are also attracting a lot of your attention. Is there enough of a vote on D for me to count that as one of your actual votes? Only 20.5%. I don't know. I'm going to say no, probably. I generally take 25% as my threshold. So I'll let you have C, maybe. How about that? Because definitely none of you really think A is fake. So let's lock in B and C as your fakes. I think that's reasonable, based on your results. Okay, here come the reveals. And there you go, B and D are the fakes. So, yeah, you correctly identified that the horse jumping up above the clouds, probably not realistic. Also, she's missing. She's missing a leg. Okay, we've also got a fucking nuclear explosion going off behind this horse. I hope she'll be okay. Mares are pretty strong, but I don't know. Anyway, we've done all right with that one, I think. We've done all right. Though you did note that C was actually a fake, and I did take that as one of your answers. So what caused suspicion on that one, I wonder? Is there too much detail around the mane? Around the chin? Like, is too much detail your litmus test now? I don't know. Honestly, what was your reasoning? I didn't see the chat too much on that. Oh well. I think I can count that as a Pyrrhic victory, I guess. Right. Do you smell it? It smells like we have some sniffy snoofers, ready to share breath with you. However, I'm pretty sure that robomares can't breathe, so no bonding with them for you. Find out which of these well-disguised mare snouts are only for show. The quality is nothing to sniff at, but I hope you knows by now which are fake. And time. Again, a lot of disagreement here, so I think these are again going to be quite interesting. Let's see what we get. What do you think, Anons? Alright, here we go. Here are your answers. So, a lot of you think D is fake. There's a fair bit of suspicion on C. You're not sure about B, though you're all pretty sure that A is real. Okay. So I think I can take that as you overall voting that C and D are your fakes. B, I don't think you've got quite enough of a majority to lock that one in. Alright then, let's see if you're right. And there you go, C and D are the fakes. So by audience votes, I guess, yeah, overall audience opinion, you're right. So, what's wrong with these snoofers? Well, honestly, it's hard. Like, this was a really difficult one. I genuinely failed this one myself. When I first saw these pictures, a lot of the time it's the whiskers. They often tend to cause a little bit of artifacting around them with the very thin strands. B is real? Yes, B is real. Well done. Well done? No, that implies you got it wrong. Not well done. Fuck you. You suck. What else have we got to say about this? Honestly, not a lot. What do you lot think? Because these horsies, they all look fine to me. Oh, I voted for it. It's fine. No? No? You all seem pretty happy. See left ear? You don't like the ear on this one. Horsey with ears. Can horsies do ears in different directions? I thought they would. C's mane looks a bit too smooth. Looks like she's got a parting comb there. Very stylish. Though maybe not entirely realistic. Okay, we're nearly done now, actually. Because we're on to the final round. The looky blinkers. Oh look, let's give these lookers a look by looking at looking, blinking, looky blinkers. Alliteration aside, this round you'll really need to keep your eyes peeled. As you can see, we have a fine collection of mare eyes here, but don't get lost in them. Use your own to examine and find out which are pretty and which are glitchy. And that's your time. Hope you savoured that last round, because, well, it's the last one. Let's see what you think then. Give me them lovely numbers. Okay, here's what you voted for. There they are. So, pretty comprehensively in favour of, what's that, C and A as your fakes. Not much suspicion on B and C. Sorry, B and D. I can't read my own fucking pie chart correctly. Okay, so obviously A and C are what you're voting as fake. Let's see if you're right. And you're right, congratulations. Right, so what went wrong with these eyes? The eyelashes, I think they're, again, a bit too well defined on both of them, again, for the camera. Camera probably wouldn't pick them up that well. The lines around the eyes, I don't know exactly how to describe them, but again, they look a bit too sharp, for lack of a better word. Though one thing that I will note is actually quite impressive is that it knows that the horsies have the square eyelids. Eyelids? No, the irises. The square irises. Horsey irises, they're not circular, and it seems to have actually understood that and drawn them accordingly. This strand of hair is a little suspicious. It's a bit odd. I was kind of hoping that the wiry mane over here would also throw you off for similar reasons, but apparently not. So it looks like you actually know your mare eyes very well. Right, that's it. So, let's see how well you did. I'm going to calculate the results right now, feeding it into my very advanced AI algorithm to see how well you actually did. Let's see, what do we think? How well do you think you've done, Anons? And the AI thinks you're very good at finding AI pictures, because a winner is you. So there were a few hiccups and bumps along the way, but I think overall you've actually done a pretty good job. So last time, you lot only failed on 2 occasions. This time you failed a lot more. Though not enough for me to say that you're all shit at identifying real pictures, though I hope actually that this has shown you that the progress has been amazing. And that if you weren't necessarily explicitly looking out for these to be fakes, I think the results would have actually been an awful lot different. Okay, thank you very much, Anons. I just want to put out one more final thank you to, first of all, myself for presenting it, but also to our head prompter, Hazy Skies. So all of the pictures and all of the lovely backgrounds that you saw were generated by him. And also, I'm crediting Certidet as animation because he did try to make a wonderful animation for us, however, time really just got ahead of us right now. But either way, the efforts of them are massively appreciated, and I want you to just give them all a wonderful, wonderful clap. Thank you very much. Anyway, thank you, Anons. We'll see you later, and maybe for another game of Find the Fake sometime soon for /MLPCon.